Wait, there's a red thing on it. Is that right?
It should be right.
Is it
Are
right?
we in the top of the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, we're having a couple technical
Chris back here running things. It's probably my fault.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I am Eva D, also known as Gooplet online, and normally I have been behind the screen running the streams for the AGA at Go Congress this year, but now I am live with you and Telegraph Go, aka Nate Morse.
Hello. It's great to be here. We're going to be commentating on the qualifiers for the World Parago Tournament. That's going to be held in Japan at a later date. So whoever wins these qualifiers will be going to Japan to represent North America. It's very exciting. We have two boards playing. Who's the teams that we're playing?
For board one, we have Paige Leemaster and Jeremiah Donnelly, who I always know as Tongjae, of course.
Yes.
Versus Leah Luk and Tianwan Zheng. I apologize for the pronunciation, of course. And on board two, Amy Wagner and Edward Zhang as white versus Jamie Tang and Albert Yen as black.
Yes.
So
sounds very exciting. Shall we get into the commentary? Take a look at board one.
Certainly.
So in this board, Paige would have played first. Leah Luke plays second. Third is Jeremiah Donnelly. And fourth was Tianyuan Zhang. So in Parago, the openings are always pretty interesting because the partners may not necessarily agree with each other that much. This Joseki, though, is common enough that I think everyone is synchronized on this one. And white chose to approach to the bottom right. Black pincered, and white played the knight's move press. When black cuts, I'm not so sure that the teams are on the same page for which Joseki that they like to choose in this kind of position. Many players only study a couple lines to make sure that they have something to play, but don't know everything. And sometimes their partner would know some different stuff. So in the game, white started with the block on the side. Black played Hane, and white cut. Have you seen this one before?
I have not. I'm not really sure. Is white going for the corner here, or the right side anyway?
It's something like that. To be honest, I think this move is suspicious. I don't like this Joseki. I think it's bad. But the meaning is something like this squeeze and then sacrifice those two stones, sort of. In the game, white ran them out. Okay, I'm not very familiar with this Joseki at all, actually. If I were playing in this Parago, I would be one of the confused players, for sure. In the game, black chose the Hane. That's definitely an interesting choice. Normally, we would extend that one stone one way or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
extend from the crosscut?
Yes, extend from crosscuts, extend to keep pressure. But the player who played this move was Jeremiah Donnelly. And he is a very aggressive player. He loves making liberty races and that sort of thing. And I suspect he played this move to try to take a liberty away from that corner white and kill it.
Is Paige generally on that same page as well?
Yeah, in general, their styles match pretty well, honestly. So they should make a good team. I'm not so sure that Leah Luke and Tianyuan will have the same ideas for how to play this kind of fight. It's even quite hard to just playing by yourself to be consistent, right? How are we going to save those stones in the corner? White played Hane, black Hane'd back in the corner, and white took a tiger's mouth like this.
Is this going to turn into a Ko for life type situation?
It very well may. For now, white has something of a base, and this black group will have to run out first, for sure. Black should break the bamboo. I approve of this move. Breaking the bamboo is the best Tetsuji, of course. And to be honest, it seems like the white group should be somewhat busy in this situation because white saved these two stones. It's going to be a little challenging to be saving their group on the side and their group in the corner at the same time. So white chose to cut like this Atari. That's a very interesting move. This one was played by Tianyuan Zhang, the 6-dan player. It means that he's planning to give up. So I think Leah Luke read into that and Atari'd here saying, okay, yeah, we were sacrificing these two stones all along. That gives black the chance to capture them, make a nice position on the side. But you can see in in this way, White has sort of saved that trouble that they had, where they're going to have to save two groups. They have successfully saved their corner group, sacrificed the other stones. The result doesn't look that bad.
Would you say that the R8 stone is now like awkwardly placed, or is that going to come up later in terms of maybe attacking the white group?
It could be awkwardly placed. It could attack that group. I think in general, this white group should be pretty strong for now. So usually that stone would be a little close. The way I would just judge this position is to basically I consider these corners as equivalent, the upper right and the bottom left. And then I can look in the upper left. I see 4 stones to 4 stones. We usually consider that to be slightly good for white, though, since white got the open corner. So we really just have to consider in the bottom right whether we like either side's territory or influence or anything like that. I think I prefer white a little bit in the bottom right, just a little, especially since white has Sente.
Okay. How would you use Sente here? I assume you would Tanuki and go to another corner?
Yeah, something like that. In the game, I want to see how they did it. They just captured the stone. That's an interesting way to do it. I believe what they're talking about is if they Tanuki, they were scared that black would run this out like this and then would have a ladder because black captured these stones in the bottom. In that way, this ladder should go to the upper left 3 stones there. So they decided that it was worth it to spend a full move fixing that ladder and capturing this 1 stone like so. It's definitely a thick move, and it really shows that this white group will be strong now for the rest of the game. But at this point, black has Sente. Black takes an open corner. White takes an open corner. Black takes an open corner. Oh, white didn't take the corner. What are they doing? Pincer on the right side. So white sees the same thing you do, that this R8 stone can be somewhat lonely. I think the way that black answers to this kind of thing can depend on which player is playing. You know, if it's the supposedly weaker player, they're often scared to be the one starting the fight. They're like, I don't know if my teammate will support me on this one, right? But the stronger player sometimes will go for it and trust their teammate to follow the gaps.
I remember that from playing with you before.
Yes. So you can see in this case it was Leah who was playing. She chose to approach the bottom left instead of handling anything over here on the right side. It would also be possible to play like S10, for example, for black. But such a move, especially if you feel like you're not the strongest player at the table, it's hard to play the second line move so early and be convinced that you're fine.
Well, F3 looks really big to me anyway.
It's definitely a big move. There's no reason that this move could be very wrong. It would never be a significant mistake. So as the partner in Pergo who's trying to make sure that they don't make the mistake, it's always a good move to take the open corner like this. And white just kicked. Black extended up and white, wow, a 5th line pincer. Have you seen this ever in your life?
No, it looks like a misclick.
It certainly does, right? Most of the time, white will play 4th line if they want a pincer or 3rd line, depending on the situation. But this situation is very unusual, to be fair. This black group is remarkably strong in this case. And so I think white thought if they would play on the 4th line that they would actually be the one getting attacked, even though it's usually you can fly and you can run that kind of group.
It almost looks like white is playing along like the sector line. Is that what they call it? Like as a reduction move almost rather than an
absolutely.
One?
It's less taking the base of this group because black can just take the base underneath, but more like sort of pressing this black group down, saying, "Hey, you can take your base. That's okay. I just don't want you to have that much territory here." I'm kind of unconvinced, but black went into the corner. Wow, what a move as a response to this one to go straight into the corner like this. It's
my instinct would have been to jump out at F7 or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Something like that. Totally reasonable. Also, you can just take the territory. There's nothing wrong with just, okay, you play 5th line, I play 3rd line, good exchange for me, you know. But black goes into the corner. This one is definitely going to start a fight. And I believe, let's see, it was Paige who played this one. Yeah, I believe Paige wants a fight no matter what. Because Paige and Jeremiah are both very much fighters. They enjoy fighting. And so if the game would be very boring, that may allow their opponents to control the game.
Do you think having 2 similarly ranked teammates gives them a significant advantage.
Maybe they'll have more trust in each other, something like that.
Mhm.
But to be honest, I don't think they have that much trust in each other. Even when you're similarly ranked, there's many things in your skill set that another player of the same rank wouldn't have, and vice versa, of course. So I suspect Jeremiah would never invade the 3-3 in this position, and I'm curious if he will follow it up the way that Paige wants to. This seems like the passive answer, and it allows Jeremiah to have a pretty easy choice to Hane in the corner here. There's hardly anything else Black could do. If White had played, for example, the Descend, I'm not sure that Paige really wanted to try to save the stones in the corner, or if she did, I think it would be a pretty unusual choice given that these two stones are weak. So I think Jay would have had a difficult decision here, but fortunately in the game, instead, White blocked at c4. And people seem to think of this as kind of a Joseki, but most of the time it's just bad for White, to be honest.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very passive after this. White has to just eat the stone like that. You can see Black manages to reduce into the corner in Sente.
Can't White normally Hane there at d2?
It's possible. This is another variation where at this point you're planning to play here, right? Then Black can capture and White Ataris. And this variation, Black also gets Sente and also has reduced the corner.
Right.
So either way, Black sort of gains for free. The only reason why this Joseki, either way of that, is ever really played is if you're scared for this White's group life entirely. So sometimes Black will be like, I'm trying to capture your group, I invade the 3-3, where do you go? In which case you can try to huddle yourself into making a base in the corner with this move. And that's definitely a wiser choice than trying to kill if you yourself are dying, right? But most of the time in the empty board like this, we shouldn't be playing.
Yeah. It looks like White has plenty of space on the left side.
Yeah, absolutely. C8 is still open. We aren't afraid that this White group is going to die soon, although you never know. In the game, it went like this, and Black took the next move to Knight's move into the center here. It's an interesting choice. I can see in this case, Black was Jeremiah. So Paige was the one who started this stuff with the 3-3. Then Jeremiah got to play the first move with these two stones after all, and he played the Knight's move. I think that Paige would not play here.
Where do you think she would have played?
I don't know exactly, but to me, I feel that this Knight's move is somewhat of a slow step. Like when you Knight's move here, White can simply run out very easily, or could come in to the side and save themselves easily that way as well. So I suspect that Paige, if she gets such a nice extra gift of thickness, will try to use that to go farther and do something special. I mean, at least 2 space jump, something like that, to try to get on top. But Jeremiah only plays the Knight's move because he likes to be a little bit more thick than Paige and gather his strength for an attack. This is my move, but in the game, White played the peep immediately. And Black connected, and then White played here. So this one is allowing Black to play a capping move, something like that, but White is saying that they could live on the side anyway. With this peep, it sort of starts to outline some base, right? Wow. Black just played here, nice and solid and safe, and making sure that this Black will be very thick. It's sort of treating this Black as a potentially weak group. It makes sense because this White is so strong.
Isn't this another J move?
Yes. Another J move. I think if Paige was playing, she would play faster again.
Okay.
Sometimes I wonder if something like that happens, whether the pair-go partners are starting to get a little irritated at each other, whether there's a little bit of side-eyeing happening, any emotional frustration.
Do you know if they play pair go together much?
I actually don't. I suspect not, but maybe they were practicing in secret for this event. You never know. White chose to play the extend out one time here. That forces Black to answer, and then blocked here. This is a really, really big move because it not only makes White a base on the side, but it also looks to Atari next, and even this Black group only has one eye. Yeah, this is definitely an unfortunate attack for Black. The several moves becoming thick here don't seem to have had any great effect on the White group. Black just descends, and white pushes. Black needs to run their group. That's not a good sign.
Mhm.
Why do we need to run our group? Wasn't it supposed to be strong? Weren't we supposed to be the one pressing? In this case, white manages to naturally capture the right side, and black still has no surrounding move on the white in the center.
Mhm. I almost felt like maybe if they kept running out together, then I can see why Q8 kind of feels like it was necessary if pulling that black stone out was going to be an eventuality.
You wanted to play somewhere around here?
Mm-hmm.
This kind of move?
Yeah.
This kind of move is possible for sure, but I think they worried that when black pulls this stone out, even the white group, the whole group will be in trouble someday.
I see.
And if that's going to be the case, then of course it makes it even bigger to capture this one stone, which is already satisfying just on territory alone.
Mm-hmm.
Black played the jump. Wow. Oh man, this was Jeremiah. Yes. Page would not play this. This is a Jeremiah move only. I don't think so.
From my Q brain, this kind of move is saying, I don't want you to have any eyes,
Yes.
I assume.
Yes, that is
Okay.
exactly what it's saying. And that's not a very reasonable concept in this position where white not only is not surrounded, but can't even be surrounded with one more move, right?
Mhm.
Even if white passes, I don't think that this move is very useful to black. But white can jump out, of course. Black should bamboo to make sure that they don't get sealed in. And here you can see this L2 move is almost immediately meaningless, right?
Mhm.
This white will just make eyes in the center instead.
But black's group looks safe now, right? Like it has enough room for two eyes on the bottom if necessary.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think it would have had enough room for two eyes even if white blocked at M2 though.
Mm-hmm.
And so this L2 didn't really particularly help with that.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, black jumped again over here. This was another one of Jay's moves, Jeremiah's moves.
Okay.
And white played here. And I suspect that Paige will, Tanuki, try to find some other place to play. Yes, she plays here actually. White answers, and black plays this one.
If white kept running out here, couldn't black's group here on the bottom left have ended up in danger as well if black didn't add another move like this one?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a reasonable move from the defensive standpoint. And also, we are keeping some pressure still on this white group. So in terms of directions that this black group could run, it could have run to the left, to the center, towards the right.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot of sense to be running towards the right side and have the most effect on the white group, keeping pressure on. Wow, white answered here. I believe what I was thinking about was that this black peep could combine with a chance to cut those stones over there. So white wanted to make sure that their connection was affirmed and make some eye space. But for me, this one is quite slow, don't you think? It hardly makes any points.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe, well, I mean, I guess it has eye shape now right in the bottom, right? Like maybe an eye at J4 or something, but
yes,
even then, that's only going to be, what, 2 points?
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So if this white group has to make eyes, to be honest, that would already be kind of a failure. Like from the state of the board as it looks right now, this white group should not really be surrounded. There's nothing that black can use to surround it. So as long as black couldn't cut these stones, and from my reading, I think that black couldn't with just one move, although I could be wrong. It seems like this move can be small. And black continues with the cap here. Black is so insistent on attacking. Yes, you can see both players on the black team are very aggressive for sure.
Okay.
And exchange. This kind of exchange means that white didn't know what to do and passed the turn to their pair group partner. You know?
I remember doing that quite a bit when I was playing with you.
Yes, of course. And the pair group partner in turn chose to simply jump out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this white player probably knew that they could jump out like that, but also wasn't sure about playing a diagonal move or an attachment or a knight's move. A lot of the time when it's a shape like that, you get a little nervous that the move that you play will have some fatal flaw, some
Mhm.
serious problem. So it makes sense. This was, I believe, Leah playing to pass the turn, let Tianwan try to run the group out in the best shape. And black simply jumped again. It does look kind of scary at this point, doesn't it? After white wasted this move. Maybe black can get some surround. The problem is that the black's group in the lower left still has some problems.
Mhm.
So white ran out with a diagonal move. Black played a knight's move, and white ran out again. And black played here. Wow.
I don't understand this move. Doesn't I guess if white blocks at g3, is the g4 move just trying to capture something so black has I shape?
It seems to be suddenly a very defensive move by black here. I think that the black players are sort of thinking that the cap and this chasing that they did in the center was their profit from the attack. And now they have to come back and defend their group.
Okay.
Wow. White even played the most aggressive response here, saying that black cannot get a base in the bottom left. If it were me, I'll allow the base. It's fine. You can have a base. I just want to have my own base, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this way, White is saying this black group needs to run. He needs to connect to that group on the left. It's an aggressive way to play, but it shouldn't necessarily be bad. Black pushed one time and gave the turn to their pair partner, who is currently thinking.
Okay, well, I think this is actually a good time before we switch over to the next board to take a quick break. As I understand, we are having some issue on the stream that I need to fix.
So we'll fix that and get right back to you.
Okay, if we could have someone switch the scene. And welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us through that little snafu. As I understand it, we just had the name switched on the boards, and we also had not been seeing YouTube chat. So, but we now can see YouTube chat. So,
Yes.
if you have questions, thoughts, comments, feel free to share, and we will respond as best we can.
And thank you, Skoon, for the shout out. Appreciate it. So this time we'll be covering board 2. This one, white, is the pair of Annie and Albert, and white is Annie and Edward, and black is Jamie and Albert. Okay. They played a cross opening this time. Wow. Black played the 3-3 here. I wonder whose idea that was. Of course, it was Albert's. I wonder if it was planned, though. Do you think they discussed beforehand, made sure that they knew they were going to cross a fling, or did Albert just surprise his partner and be like, hey, this is what we're doing now. Hope you like a 3-3.
I don't know. I did see them conspiring in the ballroom earlier, so maybe.
All planned. Well, black played a high approach. Normally, we don't play a high approach towards our 3-3 point, because even though we play this Joseki, it's a little bit difficult to continue to build on the right side. In general, just when we play a 3-3 in the first corner, if you're going to expand into the center, you just rather move that stone towards the center in the first place, right? So white chose to simply approach it from 0-4. Actually, white could also just leave and play in the other open corners, and it'd be just as good. This way, black chose to pincer, and we start a fight. White shoulder hits, black extends. Seems pretty normal, right? This wedge, usually when white is going to answer like this, you'd prefer not to have made the exchange of q5 for p5. So what I'm saying is, often the players will play just the direct extend and let white play here. Then it means we don't have to push through. So maybe someday later we'll try to cut it from the outside or something like that, right? So often a wedge is not necessary unless you actually want to confirm that your opponent will block when you push. And this is a situation where white will probably block when you push, right? Anyway, it was the wedge like this, and then black played an approach. White played kick. And a 4-space extension from the kicked stones. Have you ever done that?
No, but every time that I've seen it, I've always jumped in immediately because I say that looks strange and I don't like it.
Right. Players are often very happy to just throw a stone in and say, hey, your 2 stones don't have a base. What are you doing? That stone is too far away. I cut you. Yeah. This could be playable, actually. It's a reasonable move when someone plays 4-space extension like this. I guess this was Jamie's choice.
Okay.
But white just relaxed, played an approach, nothing special. And black played a kick and backed off themselves. This actually sort of mitigates any invasion over here, because this stone at d10, it could have been another target initially when we play an invasion. Now, if white jumps in, then black just has to take care of these 2 stones, and the rest of the shape should be solid. So it makes sense that white left it. White chose to play at r6. It's kind of an interesting choice, not playing on the top side, right? I think I like it, because playing on the top side here, the problem is that the upper right corner is so strong already that it's a little bit too much. It's too strong for the number of stones that white has played. Instead, if you block on the side, as white did in the game, and invite black to play on the top, whenever black takes a base or something, it'll never actually attack the corner, right? That white corner will always be strong for the rest of the game.
Right.
So
this move looks like it's almost attacking the upper right black group a little bit.
And even the bottom right corner of black as well. So this move was territorial and also had a lot of follow-ups, and it didn't just hold back and defend the stones as the Joseki tells us to. It was more creative than that. In the game, black linked up underneath. So black was worried that white would somehow jump to the side here. In a very crude variation, if black would have played, for example, this pincer, and white plays here, and black blocks. If this white becomes strong someday, actually this black needs to answer. So it was definitely necessary for black to reinforce on the bottom side here.
Right, that our monitor is going to sleep. Oh.
So after black played at O2, the corner, it should be able to save itself, right? That slide should be mostly connected to the stone on the bottom, and at least the corner will have a big enough space. So white decided between playing on the right side and playing on the top side. Playing on the top side is clear what white is getting. The right side, it would be sort of an uncertain attack, something like that. So they hold off one move, and black plays another move on the bottom.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, could you actually switch to a break screen real quick? We're going to just take a quick break for a second as well. And we're back again.
Hello, hello. All right, we're good. We're fixed. We're ready to go. And white is ready to go too, playing this shoulder hit. I believe that this means white really wants to gain power and directly come in and invade on the left side. Of course, the right group also we can think about playing over there. But this 4-space extension, they've just ignored it for the whole game. Eventually, we should just go in, take the territory, try to attack. But taking the territory by itself is already quite a big move. So in this position, black pushed one time, and I believe that they intended to play after that on the left, but instead they played on the right.
Who is this now playing? Is this Jamie?
I believe this move was indeed Jamie.
Okay.
So probably Albert, when pushing here, was thinking he's just going to take a little bit more power on the bottom side, give white more strength. Then when he fixes, however, on the left side, some move like this already kind of defends against the invasion. Black has sort of managed to squirrel away some more territory while white was preparing the attack.
I know Jamie likes fighting and having a lot of groups and stuff, so maybe it almost could be like hoping for a fight on this left side here.
She's baiting white to come in here. She's like, I've got you covered already. Possibly. In the game, white simply played Hane and then invade. Okay, this Hane, this must have been passing the turn back in the same way. In fact, it was Annie who played this Hane, and then Edward who finally played the invasion. Kind of a funny Perigo-only sequence of moves that we've had here. But at this moment, black now really should be saving those 2 stones. Still, what I said earlier about the upper left being strong, it still applies. It's just that these 2 stones, as they run, they won't really be able to lean on the bottom left white because white has already prepared for this fight. He played the underneath attachment here. Not he, it was she. This was played by Jamie. Normally, this we don't want to play, and you can see that indeed black was not on board when they played this one. I suspect that the plan was here. However, when this one happens, or when this one happens, either one, we've only just hurt our prospects with these 2 stones. So it didn't really make sense strategically to play the attachment because white had such an easy way to strengthen themselves for the most important fight on the board. That's why black immediately bailed out of it, sort of, by playing this one. It's kind of an interesting sequence here. Of course, we would rarely see this if it was just one player playing. White can play this push. Normally, we don't want this kind of shape. Black has a stone on the second line, and white could even consider blocking. But in this case, if white would have blocked, black could try a Hane. If it would be Sente, we can even try to take this Sente. This cut actually looks pretty powerful for black. You can imagine these white stones having a bit of trouble saving themselves. If it goes like this, and they save underneath, you can see at the end, black captures these 2 stones. And although it looked like white was attacking, this is black's winning variation.
Does white's Hane at E10 prevent this? directly?
So when white played in the game, the Hane, instead of playing the descent, then indeed I think that they were thinking about preparing to do some attack over here, and in the meantime just taking the shape in the center. But black should be satisfied, in my opinion, after this one Hane. Oh, if white would extend here, then black could answer over here, and you can see black managed to save their stones link underneath. These white stones in the center don't make any territory. So although it gains, in some sense, in terms of shape, the direction was not really the most tight, the most powerful for white. That's why in the game, after playing this Hane one time, white switched, came back over here and tried to play the cut. But just this Hane one time would not be a good exchange by itself. And black even cuts right away. It's still going to be very powerful against this white shape. White can link up into the corner, sort of, but this cut still works to some extent. I expect black to extend in the center now. They do. Very nice. And this makes a double threat, where black will either extend to b3, making a really difficult capturing race on the side, or will capture the white stones in the center. There's a couple moves to capture. Which is your favorite to try to capture these?
That's tricky. I guess my gut is to go at f9. It looks kind of like a shape point. Like if white connects, then you just block. But
so in the game, white chose to go for the fighting in the corner. If white had played here, this one looks very natural, where this one here, it's good, right? Oops, excuse me. But I actually think I prefer this move instead, because in this one, there's often going to be sacrifice potential, right? White wouldn't actually connect in most positions. In this version, the shape on the upper side is less strong for black. So you can imagine white gets to play this kind of move, like the sente, likely making some problem for black later. In the game, we don't have to worry about that because white jumped in the center, daring black to do something in the corner. And black, wow, extends one more time.
Do we figure that black just would lose capturing race with the central stones if black extends at b3?
That must have been what black was reading. So if black extends here, they were thinking about this wedge, I presume. Then if, there's a few variations this can go. If black simply blocks in the center, white can try a cut here, I believe. Whenever black uses this kind of sente move, you can see these two stones are now capturable for white. So it's black becoming busy. But if black wouldn't use that sente move and simply come back here, white can play here, and this way you see black has 2 liberties, and white has 3. Black can try to chase out like this, but I can squeeze again from the outside. And you see black is captured. This is a very poor variation for black. It would be funny though.
Yeah.
So in the game, when black pushed here, the black player, I believe this was Albert who pushed here, he didn't believe in the fight in the corner. He thought, oh, white wedge, that shouldn't be impossible for white to find, and it would sort of just end the game. It's difficult for black to continue playing. However, this move is not clearly sente in the center either. So when white gets to finish off the corner, black now needs to sort of run these stones out in the best shape against the white group in the center. They simply chose to Hane.
Doesn't this just fix white's shape a bit?
Yeah, white can play the bamboo, but it's hard to choose a better alternative. What do you want to play?
I want to break the bamboo joint like the Tsuji you mentioned earlier.
Yes. It's a nice Tsuji, but white can break through here.
Okay.
And you can see black has hardly any move to continue to surround this white group. So no matter what black was going to do, this white group was not possible to surround. So they simply played this Hane to make it a fight. So although white can bamboo, black, I don't think black planned on this move, to be honest. I suspect black is more thinking like this, and to run out the white group, run out the black group, just have a running fight, and maybe the white group on this side will become weak eventually. However, in the game, that's not what happened. It was the Atari here, suddenly. And that means that white gets to break through and make a split knight's move shape, whenever that shape occurs in the game, you can almost assume that white has won the fight locally already, right?
It definitely seems like capturing the E10 stone would be meaningless. It's just a...
Yes, it definitely strengthened black in the left side, to capture that stone. But white wasn't going to be invading there or anything like attack. That wasn't going to happen anytime soon. And it would be much better for black to control the fight with these weak stones.
We have a question in chat. Instead of C8, one was C8. That was
back here when black played the attach underneath.
Where should black have gone to protect the 2 stones at C5?
That's a great question.
Is it too late at this point?
No, it's definitely not too late. Black can simply run them out in some way that wouldn't be surrounded. So you see, if I play like a knight's move here, there's no one move that white can play to make sure that these stones are surrounded. We'll just get a running fight, something like this. Then it's going to be actually working out somewhat similar to how the game works out, where we have a running fight between these 2 groups. The only difference is in the game, we've sort of given white more territory over here due to the attach underneath from the start. Okay, black ran out with the extend here, and white pushed as well, pushing from behind. In this case, pushing from behind can make sense, where we really just need to make sure that our group becomes strong, right? This is the one thing white needs to do on the board. We need that group to gain power. Push. Black accepts, and white attaches here. So you can see that the white players are aware, as they push from behind here, give black the strength, that this will be black's second objective. Black answered, very calm, very patient, and white tried to link up like this. If I'm black, I'm not happy about how that went. Oh, I can't attack this anymore, really? Or I have to cut it if I want to attack it?
Well, that isn't linked up, is it? At K5, isn't that pretty easily disconnectable?
We could try to cut it, but if we did, we'd have to invest into doing it, right? We'd have to really spend a move. And especially if this move is going to be white sente, then you can sort of see that this is really quite strong shape in the end. If a cut is attempted over here, white can give it up, right? So it's difficult. It's going to be difficult to attack white in the bottom right after this. However, black in the bottom left still needs to be saved. So black turns. This is the only move. And white jumps. And black goes for the cut. Oh my goodness.
This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a bit scary, I think. Black has no choice but to continue playing this. And suddenly white plays away. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. If I were playing, I do not want to play away. I want to Atari here and at least try to do something in this area. Even if it doesn't work, if I can play this peep and you have to play this way, and I get to cut those off for free whenever I want later, and then save my group, I'll exchange that. That looks good to me.
I see.
In the game, instead, white played away first, which potentially gives black a chance to try to eat that stone, eat that cutting stone, but black answered on the right side. White played another move. Oh my goodness. Surely black will play somewhere in the center, but he plays the jump. Who is this? This is Albert. Yes, this is Albert playing the jump rather than a capturing move. I suppose he's just thinking that white doesn't have any good way to continue to play in this area anyway. If white just continues, it doesn't exactly cut right away. So we'll just wait and keep pressure on that group.
Also, maybe if white invested moves on the right side for I shape, and then doing that and then immediately trying to connect up feels a little
exactly.
sad.
If white was already defending, we don't need to continue to attack. Yes. Then white played a reducing move to the left. It's a little far away from the group which we were supposed to play in, but you can see that they want to defend. Black, defends the left side in a slow shape like this. We do not like playing an iron pillar, especially a bump directly into our opponent's stone. Usually, if white plays the extend, it's just a win in terms of shape for white. Because the black stone at c14, if I could take that one off the board now, I'll try to get the tool to do that. I'd much rather put it here or here, right? Some other place. This one, it hardly controls the white shape at all. It's just a very passive position to have that stone. And that's not the fault of c14, but d14, which made that shape. White played Hane, or black played Hane and connect. It's a big territory move. And white answered. Who do you think is leading?
That's really hard to say. I mean, black has a fair amount of territory on the lower right and the top left, and but white has a lot on the top as well.
Yeah. It seems like the game is not that out of balance, although many crazy things have happened. Still, they can both play for a win from here.
Do you think black will get many points in the center? Like, it almost looks like black has a bit of a framework there.
It seems like they're trying. If they really do succeed, it would have to be because of the weakness of the bottom right white group and a successful attack there. They started by playing at N15, which is definitely aiming at the center like that. But this white, if that's Sente, I wish I'd played there myself as black. It's quite painful to have to play a tiger's mouth. White tried to reduce the left side, but black captured this one stone first in forcing manner and then played here. Holy cow. This is an aggressive move for sure, played by Jamie. I believe white can simply Hane and get out. So that's what happened in the game, and Albert backed off of Jamie's attack. Definitely black intended to play here. However, it wouldn't really work if you do that one, because white can Atari like this connect. And you can see now, oops, I should not get Atari'd myself, but if I Atari there and play like this, white will be able to get out. And this variation is not bad for white at all. So that's why black played this one instead.
Well, getting J12 in Sente doesn't feel bad either.
It's still a very powerful attack on this white group where that cutting point will still exist. And if white plays there right away, white could be in trouble to this kind of move, black getting a free Panuki. You can imagine in this kind of variation, the center really could become something, right? That's why white tried to play the ko first. Rather than just accepting that they have to defend, they want to create a cutting point in black shape and try to counterattack as they defend. And black simply backed off like this. Then when white backs off here, you can see black's pushing through is now always going to be answered with a double Atari. So white is safe on the left side, and black can move on to capture the stone on the bottom. This is what I was waiting for.
I guess as far as weak groups on the board, it looks like things are mostly, well, I mean, there's the sort of nebulous white group here without having connected at G10. But yeah, the lower right thing is the only thing to attack that I'm really seeing.
Absolutely. So this is going to be one of the final battles for sure. How will white try to make eye space with that group? Apparently they won't. Wow. This peeping move is saying, partner, you do that. Not my job. You're the one who planned this. And I wonder whether black will even answer, because if black spends another move here and the white group just dies, that could be worth. But most of the time in Parago, we like answer our opponents when they do this kind of thing out of, I don't know if it's like respect, but like a lot of the time you're like, oh, you wanted to play time 2G, fine, I'll let you. You know, we don't really try to consider the trade and then confuse everybody. Okay, white played the attachment here. So this is aiming at keeping pressure on the black corner as white tries to save themselves. Black, of course, wants to Hane, and white plays another attachment here. So black can connect and save his group in the corner, but the group on the bottom may end up in some trouble in this kind of variation. White does need to connect first, but after that, you can see black needed to save their group on the bottom. However, this didn't make any eyes for white.
Right.
All it did is get, 05 Sente and break some territory. So this is still very dangerous. I wonder whether it's time for another time Suji. There it is. Atari, help, please. Someone do something. And white plays the attachment here. Wow.
Okay. I guess if I'm looking for eyes, like one of the first things I look at, of course, is S5, but that's really only one eye, right?
Yes. You can try to make an eye over there. And natural eye shape is like this, but black could break it. You can still get one eye over there. You're not really going to be able to make two eyes in this area. And if black plays another move, they'll be able to reduce it to 0.
Mhm.
So it's not a very big source of eyes in itself. White needs to use the center to be able to make an eye. If they can make an eye and sente in the center, it'll be easy.
Right.
That's why in the game, white attaches here.
Mhm.
This is Edward's move, but honestly, this looks very dubious to me. Black should hane inside, as they do, and poke like this, as they do. And yeah, capture is fine. Another way that I was thinking is simply poke, and where are you going? I can even just play outside.
Do you think black has to kill this group, or just taking the P10 stone would have made the center feel pretty big for black, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely it would be pretty big. I'm not sure whether black has to kill this group, but black probably can kill this group. So why not? Let's try.
Okay.
Let's have some fun.
Schoon says, no way, it's not dead.
Yeah, this looks like very dead to me. But in the game, black played the Atari here. That does allow white some little stuff of coming back to block here, trying to keep some pressure. But it seems like even that wouldn't be necessarily enough to live. So they play the Atari here first. And you can see this is Albert's move. He comes back to play the push. I think that's pretty obviously preparing the peep for his partner. His partner knows how to play that. And then this extend, this is the same variation that I just showed. White is in big, big, big trouble. Tiger's mouth here. Black turns. Yeah, white is going to try to make some eyes here, try to spend some time sujis here to pass the turn back to their skillful partner. They made one eye and sente, in fact, in this area, and actually managed to live.
Wow.
Wow. That certainly happened fast. I believe the problem was this area. There's still a potential for white to try to make an eye and sente here, because at this moment, black can't play here. There's a liberty shortage like that. So it seemed like actually, due to black's extending move not being the capture, that liberty mattered for being able to reduce the white shape on the side. So if black had instead captured here, then extending, it could have been a better killing attempt. However, this was still a pretty decent killing attempt. Unfortunately, it just didn't work in the end. Well done by white. The white players worked together nicely to make some magic. That isn't what happened, but after getting that Atari, getting the block playing here, then white could live. Wow. That doesn't mean the game is over. As you said, black didn't necessarily need to kill. So they saved their 3 stones over there. White saved the top side.
How are they doing points-wise, what do you say?
Oh, I don't want to count.
You don't want to count? Okay, we'll skip that step. Chat is very upset with black for the lower right.
For the failed capture. It was a good try. It was a really good try, but white did actually do a good job, I think, of saving that group. Presses a few times. Ooh, something fancy going on there. Black was threatening to capture those 2 stones. At the end here, this white group has been cut off, just forced to make a couple eyes, but it wasn't that big of a deal. They play some endgame here. And this black group was cut off by this move, but that doesn't really matter. It should still be savable. There's so much space over here. It's just about the points difference. Oh, should I really count?
Maybe. You could count black, I count white.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
I have something like 64 for black.
Yeah, I have something like, I guess with Comey, I'm thinking like 65 or something.
Oh, wow, the game is close?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
We could ask Score Estimator.
We could ask
We did
Estimator.
count. We don't have to feel bad about it now.
Now we can ask black by 4.3, apparently.
Okay.
That may have been my miscounting.
No, it's probably me. Hmm.
So it seems even though black failed the kill, they'll still win by a small margin. However, in Pergo, you never know. The end game can't be that clear. In the meantime, I think we should go and check out what happened on board 1 real quick. We left it off around move 80, and they're on move 180 now.
Hmm.
Okay. As you remember, on board 2, we had this fight at the start. Sorry, this is board 1. We had this fight at the start. And White was saving their group quite nicely on the bottom side. However, this slack move allowed Black to start putting some pressure on. White ran a few times, and then we left it at this moment where Black was sort of struggling to save their group in the bottom left as they tried to put pressure on for the White group on the bottom side. So Black exchanged some moves in the corner. Black exchanged this peep. It seems like both Black players do not want to play. They want their partner to play. Eventually, Black chooses to just shoulder hit here. I think this is the reasonable way to play. Just run out, connect back. Wow. This one really means you want to pass the turn back to your partner, like really badly.
Is this supposed to be like threatening a ko?
Yeah, I think it's an asking move for White, whether White wants to play here, allowing Black to get an eye, but White gets more territory, or whether White wants to play here. Then Black can play this Sente move and break some territory, but Black doesn't have an eye. Depending on whether Black has an eye or not, it will change probably how Black wants to run, like how defensive they want to be in that area. In the game, White simply backs off, keeping the most pressure on Black, but giving up a little bit of territory. And then Black played this push. Turn, White cut like this, the Atari, and eventually Black captured this area, and White captured that area. I think that shows that H2 is a little optimistic when Black manages to break through like this. Of course, Black is getting some eyes, and White managed to save their group as well, but probably could have saved a bit better. Eventually, they had to make their second eye in the center here. So in general, the position calmed down at this point, right? Both groups should be pretty strong. Black just goes and plays a big move on the top side. Who would you like to play?
I mean, I feel like Black just has all the potential for growth right now. I feel I would like Black. What about you?
I think I would take White here. It's pretty close. White has a lot of territory in the corners and on the right side. And although Black has one big area on the top side, I think I can just dive in, and I'm happy to try to save that kind of group. That kind of game is fun. A viewer points out in the chat that indeed here there's a ko, which I didn't read carefully. So we shouldn't do that one. White is correct. Thank you. My bad. And you see, White, like me, is just walking in and saying, kill me. Do it if you dare. I like it. Yeah, this is played by Tianyuan. I wonder whether Leah likes it. Usually the weaker player does not enjoy trying to save a group like this in their opponent's Moya.
Okay, well, White can just connect under... Oh, never mind.
White could connect underneath, but it would be a little small to do that, and Black would continue to just take some power. Eventually, this forcing move is that's not ideal, but it was just passing the turn back. It's like Black just wanted to make sure that the other player would get to play. I really don't think that Paige and Jeremiah should be doing this so much, though, because they're similar strength, right? Most of the time, Pergo partners want to pass the turn back to, but it seems like they've been doing this a little too often for players of the exact same rank.
Well, what does this move mean? Can't Black pull back at F18, and isn't that a little bit threatening to the corner?
You can do that, but a lot of the time you can play here too. And after you play this one, no, you can't, you know? So if we're not going to save here right away, then this exchange is just bad for sure. We just should not play that unless we're sure that we're going to be playing the F18 move.
Oh, okay.
And instead we're going to play to press on the right side. They may also have been preparing for the attach underneath, as you said. So thinking if I Hana here and White attaches underneath, that this stone will somehow help in the fight.
Does it?
To some extent. For example, if it goes like this, you can imagine some cut like this being more powerful because I can play at f18 to try to save. And even I could try to play here right away or quickly. I mean, it definitely helps to have some extra potential eye space on the top side there, but it was still, I think, not worth to play right away. If you really, really needed that against this one, just play it now, you know? Instead, it was Hane, double Hane in the game, putting pressure on this white group. This also secures the black corner pretty nicely. And that was something that white was going to aim for a lot of the time. If white became very strong here, white could continue to invade the corner again afterwards. But when black gains the power, it's going to be difficult. In the game, white just extends, and black surrounds. White tiger, black connect. It seems like this white group saves very naturally. And black just takes the center, but the center is quite small. I think this is a good variation for white. Yeah, this seems successful, especially white connects under here. You can see this exchange is really bad now.
And white can still reduce the center, right?
Yes, white can still walk in from here, can still walk in from the right side, the left side. The upper right corner is still potentially open. And originally, when black played at h17, they weren't thinking of this variation. You know?
Yeah.
They would have played a little further back. So in the game, black attaches. I think they're frustrated. Let's see. Which one? This was Jeremiah who played this one. Yes, this is definitely like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're behind.
Yeah.
And cover here. This is all forcing for white to answer, but since white becomes strong, again, I think white can try to do something in the upper right corner. Black just blocks the center, but the bump one time, push here, and they just go to the left for now.
Very controversial white h12.
White
Oh, I
H12.
guess that's further ahead in the game.
Oh,
Okay.
we'll have to get there.
Yes.
White is pressing on the left side. Black played this big N19 move that's almost double sente, and white said, I don't want it to be double sente. Let me ignore. Played over here. Black answered and just played this one. This, because there's cuts in the center, it's almost forcing black should answer directly like that. It makes sense. And white then answered here. Of course, we don't want to play this one. You know why, right?
Because of the that one, the white
cut.
takes.
Tari chase. This is fun. Should I play out the whole thing?
Sure, why not? I think that's one that I learned not to do around maybe I learned not to do it at like 18Q, but then I didn't really learn not to do it until 14Q or something.
Right. Yeah. Somewhere in the beginning of our Go journeys.
Yeah.
So eventually white just played this L18 move. But actually, if you're gonna play a move, why do we have to play there? It seems very, very small to answer when black's biggest move is just like L18 and M19 gote anyway. I definitely would prefer to have seen a move on the left side somehow. And so black gets to take that first. It's actually, I think, a pretty big deal. White takes some endgame in the lower left, but black can play this monkey jump. White tries a sente move. Wow. We ignore connecting here to play over here, thinking that this one is double sente. I think it's correct. I think this is sharp by... this is well done. Who was this? It was Jeremiah, I believe, who ignored the upper left to go play this one quickly. Now, if white would capture, this is probably bigger, although this is really big in the upper left corner, because there's a potential cut, and just in general, the white territory there is shattered quickly. So it was nice timing to go like that. White just answered, and then black got the pressing move on the other side as well. Very well organized by black. White pushes like this, blocks in the corner. This move at D1 is making a life. Yeah. Black didn't want to have to try to live some other way. If white would play here, it's, black has to live in the center with some shape over there. Instead, and I think that's well possible. Like if white would really try at this moment to play this one should be sente, and then this move is living, because you can see at this moment white would need to play here, but it would be captured.
Mhm.
Like that. So that black group is alive, but after black played here, basically it would still be alive, but this peep is annoying. If that peep would come and black answers, then it's harder to make your eye in the center. So just live, so you can answer the peep, playing a few reducing moves, and suddenly a ko in the bottom right. Wow. We're really pressing white to answer just one time at S13 or at S3. I don't know if that's necessary, but I suspect black is just thinking they're behind and trying to do something. And white just answers, probably thinking that they're ahead. Okay. Press like this. It's an endgame. What was that move that they wanted us?
I guess it was actually earlier. I don't think white H12 was ever played. Maybe it was in a variation that we were
Perhaps it was in
making.
the other game. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe H12 is played now. I don't think that move is controversial, just pushing one time into
Yeah.
the opponent's territory. Just a normal endgame move. And at the moment, they're playing the last small kos and dames. So the game should be almost over. I don't know how close it is. Do you think we can click score estimator, cheat one time?
Okay, yeah, I think we can cheat.
It says white by 2.7 right
very
now.
close.
Game is very, very close. But indeed, white was ahead, as I thought. And in the other game here, they are filling the dame as we speak on board 2.
Skoon asked if you are a nuclear engineer.
I am not a nuclear engineer. I went to school for optics, actually, the study of light. And I did enjoy my quantum optics class a lot. So perhaps in another life, I would be a nuclear engineer, but not this one.
Some telegraph lore. I actually
Yes.
didn't know that about you.
Yes. I'm a math nerd for sure.
I knew that.
Yes.
How far back did we abandon the other game?
This one was an endgame, the board 2. This one, somewhere back here. They just continued playing their big endgames and going about their day. It really seems like they're almost over, though, in both games. I don't know which one to watch. Usually, only one game is going to counting at a time.
Yeah, but
I guess
it
this
seems like
one
these
there's
are
still
pretty
like a
close.
Dameko. Yes. Yes.
I guess if you're averaging the speed of more players, then maybe it becomes more likely that you finish at about the same time.
All teams will use their clock, even if an individual player wouldn't. The other, the other partner will pick up the slack. Okay, it seems they have finally gone into proper dame filling mode on this game, board 1, and board 2 should be just about completely finished here. It looks like they filled all the dame. I click the score estimator. It says black by 3.5 points on board 2. So that's a win for Jamie and Albert by 3.5 over Andy and Edward, it seems. And on board 1, they're just about to count as well. Seems that white wins by 2.5 points on this board. That's a win for Leah Luke and Tianyuan Zhang.
Of course, I don't think the demo boards always take into account the passing stones. So
Yes.
it's possible that those are off by about a point.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yes, possible. I think in this case that they would take into account the passing stones, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Wow, two wonderful games. It's crazy that both games were close and intense throughout each of them. This was really a pleasure to commentate.
Oh yeah, no, I had a lot of fun, and Telegraph and I are going to be Pairgo partners Thursday.
Yes,
So,
yes. Playing the main Pairgo tournament, not just the one to go to Japan.
Yes.
Yes.
Very excited about that. So it's a lot of fun to be able to commentate in advance with my partner or other people's Pairgo games. And yeah, so thank you all for coming and watching. And I believe the next event that we're going to be streaming will be Thursday. Yes, we have Wednesday off.
Yep.
I get to sleep in finally.
Yay.
Yes.
But Thursday is going to be the fourth round of the Masters, which you are playing in. Brand. And what are your standings right now?
I'm 1 and 2. There's some interesting games. I won my game today by 0.5 point. That was exciting. But Yeah, I'm looking forward to Thursday. We're going to have round 4, and then Friday rounds 5 and 6, I believe. 6 will be in the night. So lots more Go to look forward to. Tomorrow is excursion day. All of us at Go Congress will have the day to go explore Ohio or just play a lot more Go, as we like to do. Thank you guys all for watching. It's been great.
Okay. Well, see you Thursday then.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.